We'll go ahead and call this September 27th, 2016 meeting of Greer City Council to order. And we'll invite you to stand as I lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and invite you to remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we are humbled by your grace and your love. We give thanks for your plan of salvation. We thank you for the blessings of living in this great country, in this great state, and this special city. We remember those who gave their lives that we might enjoy those God-given rights enumerated by our founding fathers. We ask your blessings on their families and those currently serving in harm's way and their families. Guide and direct us to make decisions that will be acceptable in your eyes. In Jesus' name, amen. There she is. Duncan, do we have anyone to speak in public forum tonight?
No, sir.
All righty, then we'll move right along to the minutes of the council meeting from September 13th. Assuming you've had time to read those and digest them, I will entertain a motion to accept.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? If not, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Bookert?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Mr. Bettis?
Yes. As usual in your packets, a lot of good information in our departmental reports. I urge you to take advantage of that. A lot of good information in there. And David's going to bring us some financial information.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Tonight we bring to you the financial performance summary for the month ended August 2016. As normal, we use the three largest budgeted funds to present for this summary. Beginning with the general fund, we have revenue recorded of $1,141,000 with expenditures recorded of $2,397,000. The expenditures for August are 6% under budget. Looking at the cash balance for August 31st, we have $9,054,000 in the bank. Referencing the dashboards, you will see that we have a $1,028,000 positive variance for the month ended August 31st. Moving to the hospitality fund, we have revenue recorded of $347,104. That is 1% over budget in revenue, with expenditures of $195,274 and a carrying cash balance of $1,149,821. And lastly, moving to the stormwater fund, we have revenue recorded of $6,063, expenditures of $59,933, and a carrying cash balance there of $972,730. I'll be happy to take any questions you may have.
Council, any questions? If not, thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
We'll move now to our presentation by Skipper Burns, Director of Public Services, with his annual report.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, thank you for this opportunity to give you some information. If I can get Derek to get me going here. Sorry. Thank you for this opportunity to show you a little bit about what we have been working on in the past few months. We'll start off with sidewalk and curb repair. This is something that we, of course, have to do on a regular basis. This is a list of some of the locations where we've made repairs to our sidewalks. Some of it's been curb line repair, replacement. We've added handicap ramps, mats where they were needed, and also we've done this work to some other locations that just very small, where it was just like maybe just a 4-foot section. This is just a couple of before and afters. This is a school street. We've made these repairs. This was some you can see that was very, very broken, and handicap mats and things like that were not installed. Also, you know, we use contractor to help us with some of this, and this is another one of these areas where we've used contractor. He's done just over 2,300 foot of repairs. And again, we do this to try to keep our sidewalks trip hazard free, safe for our pedestrians. We'll move to storm drain work, and these are just a couple of locations where we've made storm box repairs. Our crews have worked on 10 locations this past year, fixing curb lines, sinkholes, grates, anything like that that was hindering our storm drain. And then some of the other things that goes in hand with our storm drain work is we installed 185 feet of asphalt gutter down the shoulder of the road to control erosion. And this was done in the Burgess Hills community. We also have to clean our ditch lines to keep our water. I know we've got one we're looking at for you right now, Mr. Bettis, that we're going to have to get some water flowing down through there to keep some of the erosion and flooding property owner. This is just another thing we do. We've cleaned out over 150 foot of ditch lines this year. We installed pipe in various locations. We've had broken, damaged, or just short pipe. This location right here is over on Beco Road. Grimble County, we're doing some repairs to that road. The upper portion next to Hood is ours. The other portion is county. Well, they found in milling this road that our pipe was broke. So we went in and inspected with a camera, and we decided we'd replace all this and pull ditch lines to help this flow of water. Some of the asphalt work we've done. This is different locations where we have we've gone in and we've milled. We've removed the asphalt, whether it was broken, whether it was alligatored, whether it was just one big large pothole. I know the particular one at Elmer and Hampton Road, that was just a pothole that was a regular pothole that we fixed every week. So we mill these locations, we remove all the asphalt and replace it with new and compact it in. Some of the other things we do is, very much aware, we paint our parking lots. This year we've painted all of our downtown parking spaces and most all of our downtown parking lots. Also, we've remarked all of our rail crossings. The summer and spring, our crews are cutting back along roadsides and right-of-ways. This past year, we have cut just over 1,500 lane miles of ditch line and roadway right-of-way. We've also cut our cemetery as needed. Street signs. This is another thing that we do on a regular basis. You see in the 2015, 2016, we did go up a little on post replacement. That's just damage. Stop sign replacement was also the rest of our sign replacement and miscellaneous repairs stayed about the same as the 2014, 2015 year. Then I think all of you have noticed the new signs that we have put up on Poinsett, the east and the west, with the flashing speed limit. Those are solar operated, and the police department furnished those through some funds they had, and we installed those. Our street sweeper, we run this as often as we can. We don't get to run it a full 5 days a week, but we try to keep it on the road. And you can see we have swept 2,600 lane miles, and this has also got a spray attachment that we can spray curb lines, some gutter lines to, keep the grass down. And we've sprayed just a little over 300 miles of that. Mr. Bettis, you were asking about leaf season. So we're starting to get our stuff ready. The leaf season will start November 7th and run through the February 6th week. So we're getting our mail out ready to send out to our residents, and that should go out approximately mid-October. And this is a service we've done, and a leaf brochure that we have mailed to all of our residents the last several years, and it just seems to help and work. And if y'all having calls or complaints or anything like that it's too short, too long, or whatever, please let me know so we can work with it. We did have a snow event this past year. In January, we had a little snow that kept our crews pretty busy through the days and the nights for several days. We had 11 of our team members that put in 415 hours of overtime. They traveled 1,368 miles plowing and sanding our roads. We used 150 tons of sand. And at the same time all that was going on, we had 8 locations where trees or tree limbs were in the roadway that we had to pull off the snow removal and go get the limbs and things out of the road. In our maintenance shop, you see most of our numbers are about the same. Our vehicle service is a little bit higher for the 2015-2016 year. Repairs are better, so we're down on those. And then our tire replacement is down, road calls are down, and our miscellaneous work is down. And I think part of this is our fleet is newer, and our team members are just helping us all take care of our equipment. This year, our Spring Cleanup Day, which used to be called our Amnesty Day, and we have changed the name to the Spring Cleanup Day, we held it on April 30th. We had the largest number of residents turned out this year that we've ever had. We had 285 residents stop by and dropped off materials. If you figure this is only a 5-hour event, 300 minutes, we turned almost a car a minute. I think that was an awful big turnout. You see some of the items we collected, the same as normal on the aerosols and the liquids and the paints and that type stuff. We did have 3,500 pounds of shred material, and that number was up a little bit from the years in the past. 3,000 pounds of e-waste, and just a little over 2 tons of building materials and furniture that people brought us. We'll go to our recycle. Our recycle center this year. You can see our 2014 tonnage and our 2014-15 tonnage and our 15-16 tonnage. We're up about 10 tons at our recycle center. And we, as more and more residents continue to use this facility, and keep in mind, this is even after we quit taking glass at our center. So the glass, it was one of the heavier items, but we're no longer able to find a vendor to get rid of it. So that's a pretty significant increase. Our curbside, that is another item that we started back in the 14 year, mixing at the curb. When we dump it in the truck, we pick it up co-mingled. And you see we went up almost 120 tons for that right there, co-mingle. It seems like it just works better for the resident. Our e-waste, I think our e-waste is our old tire that we used to have so many of. I think the e-waste is replacing that. But you see we are just about 2 tons less on the e-waste for this past 15, 16 years. And that's a good thing for us. Solid waste, you can see the 2015-2016, we're up about 800 tons over the 2014-2015. But as we add homes and everything, that's just the way we want to see it. We want to see our tonnage go up because that means we are growing. But you see we're still under some of our 09 and 10 numbers. And that's about all I have. I'll be glad to answer any questions or anything.
Council, any questions or comments for Mr. Burns?
I would say thank you greatly. It seems like I've been tasking you lately quite a bit with my street orders.
No problem.
So I appreciate everything you all do for us.
Thank you.
The leaf schedule is coming out when?
It should be in the mailbox around mid-October. Of course, we rely heavily on the postman to deliver it as we want it, and the processing house to get it completed and to the post office. But you should have it around mid-October.
We do a mailer last year when we did the leaves that kind of gave instruction for the brush and different
Yes,
things.
sir.
It wasn't that kind of...
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
in there.
Good.
Yes, sir. And also some of the things like please don't put sticks and trash and that type stuff in your brush. and we also try to put some information in there on regular yard pickup, on the regular service and everything.
I asked because I just continue to see a lot of that brush. I live in one of those, in one of the areas where there's a lot of trees, and so we've talked about this in the past. A lot of times people do a bulk of the tree work and then naturally just throw it all out there for us to pick up. And so as long as we're continuing to educate and just...
We continue to try, and of course that neighborhood is, that's an all-hands call when we get up there trying to remove leaves and everything usually, so we usually handle it pretty well.
Appreciate the hard work.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I too appreciate the hard work. I appreciate all the problem solving. Your department is one that if you guys don't do the job, the phone will ring. And I really appreciate, the transition when we changed the days, the pickup days. That went pretty smooth.
We had a few glitches.
But overall, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I actually had one that I think we figured out the problem today. The truck was working, he was doing his route, but he had another truck got through, so that truck said, hey, I'm going to come help you, so he jumped in on the route, and it just didn't go by that house. The roads didn't take him by that house the way he ran it, and he just flat missed it. So we think we've got that. Ace has been very helpful. I've actually had a conversation with Steve today. He's working on getting some, what we're going to call route mounts. He's working with Justin downstairs to have a supervisor where he's got a problem, he highlights it, he marks it, he turns a work order out. He will actually tell the driver, now next week, when you do this, you call me. So I'll know that it's been completed. You haven't missed it this time. And it's just a training thing. So like I say, I think it's going to work.
Yeah, I would like to say on those trashes that those guys did an absolutely great job in our neighborhood. And I probably shouldn't say it, but I know one of the guys jumped off his truck and ran to my neighbor's house to get her trash can because she didn't put it out there on our new day. And I think he's normally used to seeing her trash, so he ran over there to get her trash can. I saw it when I was leaving for work. So that was really nice, really nice.
Thank you.
Above and beyond the call.
Yeah, he did good. That was nice.
Good. Thank you. It's good to hear that. But like I say, anytime, please call me. I'll try to find out what's going on. We'll try to get to the bottom of the problem. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Skipper. Be sure and relay to your staff our thanks. That takes us to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. First, let me say that I sincerely appreciate having had the opportunity at your last meeting not to have been with you. You allowed me to be away on some vacation time, and I sincerely appreciate you allowing me to miss that meeting. Thank you very much. In the meantime, though, we've been very, very active. Several things happening. I want to report a few of those to you and give you a couple of calendar items as we're moving forward. Since you last met as well, we celebrated our first Rail Fest festival here at the park. We had about 1,500 residents who came to participate in that event. Great feedback from our community on that, and it's something that we believe that we will be able to partner and work with our railroad companies and other folks promoting railroad safety in our community, as well as us promoting and recognizing the heritage that we have related to the rails here in our community. So very, very productive event. Glad that some of you were able to come out and participate that day, and we're glad to see you there. Our employee benefits fair was held on the 15th. Had great turnout for that as well. So we are going into October, which is our open enrollment period. So if there's any information that you may need from us or that you may need to provide to us, we certainly remind you that October is that open enrollment period. You've received an invitation, and we are hosting, along with Greer Development Corporation, also with GSP Airport, and also with the South Carolina Inland Port. We have a very special visitor coming to our community on Friday of this week. The Canadian Consul General will be in our community, and she will be touring out at the Inland Port and then coming in for an invitation luncheon here at City Hall. You've received invitation information for that event. If you've not yet had an opportunity to respond to Ms. Duncan. She can take that information this evening if your schedule will allow you to join us on Friday for that very, very special visit. Oktoberfest will be taking place in our community this Saturday. So we are expecting around 20,000 or so folks in our downtown area on Saturday. It's a wonderful annual event for us in the downtown, and that again will be celebrated this Saturday in Greer Station. Our employee safety breakfast is scheduled for Friday, October the 7th, so we want to make sure that you're placing that on your schedule. We'll gather 7:30 that morning. I think we do a coffee and conversation at 7 o'clock, breakfast at 7:30. It's an opportunity for us to recognize our employees for risk management. We've got some really nice news to share with them on that Friday morning, and we certainly hope that your schedule will allow you to come and share that good news with our employees. We have surpassed already 365 days without a lost time accident citywide, and so we're continuing to add days to that. That's now a couple of weeks past as we approach that 365 point and moving forward. Very, very excited about that. You've also received information from our partners over at Greer CPW. They have an event coming up on October the 6th, so I do hope that you've had an opportunity to receive that invitation, and if we can help you respond with any of that, we're glad to do that as well. And last but not least, I do ask that you place on your calendars November the 3rd. November the 3rd will be a special celebration that we will have at our new Center for the Arts. That is our, as you know, our old auditorium property. We are in the process now of our artists moving into that site. And on Thursday, November the 3rd, we'll have some special music and an open house there with our artists exhibiting some of their work in that new space. So, and you'll receive more information on that. So we're looking forward to that. A couple of things I do want to share with you, some things that we have been very pleased to be honored with. Just this last week, Glenn Pace had an opportunity to go and participate in the South Carolina and Georgia members of the American Planning Association. The South Carolina chapter of the American Planning Association presented an award to the city of Greer, and that was for the outstanding planning project for a small urban community, was presented to the city of Greer on our community master plan. So we were recognized statewide for that effort. Glenn was very proud to receive that on our behalf, and we will also be sharing that with our partners with Partnership for Tomorrow at the November 1st Friday luncheon that our Chamber of Commerce sponsors. So we hope that you'll be able to join us for that as we celebrate locally that statewide recognition. Also glad to report to you that we have been advised that we are the recipient of a Archives and History grant. That grant amount is in the amount of $25,000. You may recall during the budget process we applied for that. It required a 50-50 match, so we appropriated $25,000. It is periodically we have to do an inventory of our historical properties. This was a grant that we applied for. Again, Mr. Pace was involved in making that application, and we have been notified that we are the recipient of that $25,000 award. Also, I want to report to you tonight, because I don't believe that we had an opportunity to get this into our minutes. I think we've had some sidebar conversations about it. But as you are aware, we have been planning now for a couple of years for a major rehabilitation in our downtown area. That will involve a great deal of work, both by us and by Greer CPW. In that project, CPW will be replacing utility lines, many of their water lines, sewer lines, many of their gas lines in the downtown Greer Station or the Central Business District area. That project will need to be done. This is one of those that you do about every 75 to 100 years, but it just happens to be our time to need to do it. It is an aging infrastructure. It is going to be a very complex project, and we have been working with our downtown merchants for a number of years now, advising them and preparing them as we move forward to this project. We are anticipating that utility work to take place in 2017, and that work is being funded by Greer CPW. Total cost has not been completely outlined by them, but we are anticipating that that work is going to be somewhere in the $4 to $4.5 million range for the utility work that will need to take place there, and they are preparing for that. Our portion of that work will be about $2 million, which will involve Poinsett Street, all of Trade Street. It will involve Depot Street, Victoria Street, Randall Street, and School Street will be involved in that project. We will be milling the street down to 1 inch below the curb line. We'll be replacing all broken curb and gutter, making sure we have all ADA accessibility installed in the area. Obviously, we'll be repaving the area, repairing all of the sidewalk area and the curb and gutter that we disturb, as well as we'll be installing some new streetscape, landscape features in the downtown area as well. Again, that portion of the project is about a little over $2 million, $2,063,000 is what we estimated that. Qualifying for that project is that work which could be done by the Greenville Legislative Delegation Transportation Committee and the scope of work on local and state roads. That portion of the project is valued at about $1,031,000. Very happy to report that the Legislative Delegation Transportation Committee agreed to fund that portion of the work on a 75-25 basis. So we will be receiving from the Legislative Delegation Transportation Committee $775,000 to assist us with that major project. We will have responsibility for the 25% match, $256,000, and then, of course, the remaining portion of our project. We have been planning for and preparing to set aside funds for that for a while now, so we are anticipating, again, that the utility work will take place in 2017, and then we will follow the utility work. Based on scheduling, we will follow the utility work, but we anticipate that most of that will be done in 2018. So again, calendar year 2017 for the utility, 2018 for the road work, sidewalk, curb and gutter work. We recognize that this will be a significant disruption to our business community, and so as a result of that, we are having to put provisions in place to work around as much of that as we can based on busy retail seasons and schedules. So we are planning for that, and we're working very, very closely with our partners at CPW. As that planning effort comes more into fruition, we will keep you advised, and certainly we will communicate with our business community downtown on those plans as they move forward. But while we're still another year and a half away before we will actually be on the paving side of that project, it is absolutely essential and critical that we are communicating with the merchants there and planning that appropriately to minimize that disruption the best that we possibly can. That concludes my report. If there's any questions, I certainly am available to answer those. I do need to ask Council's consideration of 3 items in executive session this evening. One is an economic development, one is a personnel, and one is contractual. Again, that is 1 economic development, 1 personnel, and 1 contractual. I do not anticipate that we would be expecting action by council on any of those items. They are for informational purposes only this evening. Any questions at this point? If there are none, I would like to introduce a special guest that has joined us this evening. We have from the United States Marshal's Office from Charleston, United States Marshal Kelvin Washington, and he has joined us this evening to make a presentation to a member of our team, and he's asked for the opportunity to come and do that here before City Council. Marshal, glad to have you with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Greggers, to the members of council and to those citizens of Greer. Good evening. It is certainly an honor and a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon. Back about 6.5 years ago, I was appointed by President Obama to serve as the head United States Marshal for the District of South Carolina, and I had the pleasure of meeting Chief Reynolds, and we have created somewhat of a good friendship and partnership over this last 6.5 years. And as many of you all are aware, Chief Reynolds has served as the president of the South Carolina Police Chiefs Association and currently serves as the outgoing president, which is an advisor to the current president of the Police Chiefs Association and an advisor to that board. And so we wanted to come down tonight, and I wanted to represent my office from Columbia to congratulate him on his service to this community. I just found out a couple of days ago that he's going to be telling us goodbye in a few months, and we wanted to just offer him a small token of our appreciation for his service, not only to the city of Greer, but most importantly to the state of South Carolina for his years of service as police chief. So I want to just give this to him. Yeah, this is I called my boss's office today and asked, what's this all about? I never got a response. Early retirement. Yeah, well, I was squinting. One personnel issue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Glad to have you in Greer today.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Consider yourselves fortunate to have someone of his caliber serving as you all as police chief. But I'm sure I don't have to tell you all that. You already know. He's a good man's done a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, that concludes my report.
All right, sir. Thank you. That'll take us to appointments to boards and commissions. The Housing Authority of the City of Greer, Flora Jones' term will expire 10/31/16, and that includes a recommendation here from Janice Fowler, who is the Executive Director of the Housing Authority, that Flora Jones would be more than welcome to be reappointed for another term. Council, anyone willing to make that recommendation?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments about Flora Jones or the Housing Authority? If not, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mr. Bettis?
Yes. That takes us to old business, second and final reading of ordinance number 16-2016, an ordinance to change the zoning classification of property owned by BCB and PRB2 LLC, located at 321 Hammett Bridge Road, from PDR to DRD.
There is no new information from first reading.
All right. We'll entertain a motion to accept.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions regarding this ordinance? If not, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin? Yes. Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mr. Bettis?
Yes. Second and final reading of ordinance number 28-2016, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of certain real property in the city of Greer.
No new information.
With no new information, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
Motion.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any questions concerning this? If not, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin? Yes. Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mr. Bettis?
Yes. And second and final reading of ordinance number 29-2016, an ordinance to change the zoning classification of property owned by Brenda H. Medlock, located at 705 West Poinsett Street, from R12 to C2. Any further information on that?
No, sir. No additional information.
Stands as is. We'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
We've got a motion and a second. Any other questions about this property? If not, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin? Yes. Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mr. Bettis?
Yes. For executive session, we will hear information on an economic development matter, one personnel matter, and one contractual matter. Do I have a motion to go to executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin? Yes. Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mr. Bettis?
Yes. All right, we had one economic development, one personnel, one contractual matter. Do I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Griffin? Yes. Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mr. Bettis?
Yes. Being no more stuff to take care of, we'll call this adjourned.